Most of us are fine when we're alone. No one gets close enough to touch our wounds. No one sees enough to trigger what's buried. And we take that stillness for healing. But healing isn't tested in isolation. It's tested in closeness. Most of us imagine healing as a kind of stillness. No longer feeling sad. No longer being afraid. No longer getting triggered by anything or anyone. A mind that stays perfectly calm, no matter what happens around it. And we work toward that. We read, we reflect, we process, we sit with things. And alone, it works. Alone we feel free. Because when no one is truly close, no one can touch the places that still hurt. Then someone comes along. Someone who actually sees you. Someone who gets close enough to matter. And without warning, something old surfaces. The fear of being left. The feeling of not being chosen. The deep, quiet ache of not being enough. And immediately, the conclusion arrives. I haven't healed yet. But wait. Before you take that conclusion at face value, consider something else. Maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're experiencing real contact for the first time. Because here is what relationships actually do. They don't create what's broken inside you. They reveal what was already there. The relationship is not the wound. The relationship is the mirror. When someone truly gets close, when they see you, when they stay, your nervous system does something very specific. It opens its old files, the recordings it made long ago in moments when closeness meant pain, when love meant uncertainty, when being seen led to being hurt, and those old files activate, not because something is going wrong, but because something real is finally happening. This is not a flaw in your healing. This is what it means to be human. Real healing doesn't look like never getting triggered. It looks like noticing you're triggered and not running, not attacking, not abandoning yourself in the middle of the feeling. Because a healed person is not someone who stopped feeling fear. A healed person is someone who can stay, even when afraid. Someone who can feel the wave rising and not be swept completely away. Someone who can say in the middle of the intensity, I feel this, and I am still here. That is not weakness. That is the entire work. Maybe all of it. Every practice, every insight, every hard conversation with yourself comes down to this one thing: not preventing your emotions from rising, but not abandoning yourself when they do. So the next time you find yourself triggered in a relationship, and your first thought is I haven't healed, stop for a moment and consider the possibility that what you're experiencing right now is not evidence of failure. It might be the first time you're actually healing, because healing is not a single moment of clarity. It accumulates slowly, quietly, through experience. Each time you stay present with a difficult feeling instead of escaping it, something shifts. Each time you choose not to disappear, not into silence, not into anger, not into the old familiar patterns, the trigger loses a little of its grip. And over time, not all at once, but gradually, you start to meet situations that once overwhelmed you with a little more steadiness. Not because you stopped feeling, but because you've practiced staying. Every trigger, met with awareness, is transformed by that awareness. The feeling doesn't disappear, but it no longer controls the whole room. Maybe it's time to redefine what we think healing is supposed to feel like. Because if we wait for a version of healing where nothing ever surfaces, we will wait forever. But if we can learn to look at what rises inside us, the fear, the ache, the old familiar contraction, and say, this is not proof that I'm broken. This is proof that I'm finally close enough to something real for the old wound to speak. And I am going to listen without losing myself. Then something opens. We can stay in the process instead of fighting it. We can let what rises move through us instead of defining us. We can begin to understand that the emotion, even when it looks like pain, might be healing itself, not the obstacle. the path. You are not behind in your healing. You are not failing because you feel things deeply. You are exactly where the real work happens, in contact, in closeness, in the tender and difficult space of letting someone in. If this reached something true in you today, subscribe to the channel and help this kind of content reach more people who need it. And if someone in your life is in the middle of this right now, share it with them. I'll see you in the next one.